Hi, my name is Tamia Darden, and this is my Zion Magazine project, and it is called The Soul of Music. What beautiful music has to offer, reading into the effortless art of music while capturing the image behind the talent presented, created by Tamia Darden. The evolution of soul music, background information of decade hits. For my first page of my magazine I have created, I engaged with how music was founded. I researched that it was originated from Central Africa from enslaved African Americans that were in the transatlantic slave trade. There were different elements that were combined together that created rhythm and blues, which expanded to hip hop and gospel. Gospel was originated from the Deep South and came from the emotional telling of the struggles the slaves had faced. This also was shown and presented into jazz, rhythm and blues, and even rap to this day. Music from the 80s through the 2000s, the hits that won't miss. Basically, with this side, I tried to come up with, a few songs that really I felt stood out through this timeline. For the first song, it was Bad by Michael Jackson. I feel like everyone in the 80s loved Michael Jackson and the music that he created. For the second one, it was Dear Mama by Tupac. When Tupac Shakur was still alive, he had so much music that really hit deep for teens throughout the 90s to the 2000s. And the same as for Lauryn Hill with X Factor. I feel like even to this day, X Factor is such a big song that is so storytelling as among the other ones. Then I have the 2000s or the 2010s was the latest. The first song was "The Empire State of Mind" by Jay-Z. I feel like when that song came out, it expanded so much, um, and it just talked within, like it just was a lot. Um, the second song was "You" by Lloyd. I felt like that song was very popular when it came out also. I felt like it had a story behind it too. And "You Got It Bad" by Usher. I felt like Usher was definitely a big artist amongst the 2000s to the 2010s, but even now. And I feel like all these artists that I've listed and all these songs are just a great example of just Black music and the time and the effort it took for all of these creators to express themselves within their music, even if it was for 4 minutes or 5 minutes, it still was just seem more different to the people who took time to listen to either the album, the song, or the artist itself. Black hip hop, rhythm and blues mixed with a little bit of heat. For my third page, it talks about hip hop and how it was a cultural movement for our community. It was originated from the Bronx, New York during the 1970s and has grown ever since. With hip hop also came fashion trends, language, art, and politics. Another emotional aspect was hip hop was poverty, police brutality, and discrimination. The reason why Black artists used music to express themselves in the situations they had faced, which can help them mentally and emotionally heal. With this section of my magazine, I basically created a word search that had just different words from, I would say, different artists or what artists would use, or um, even just like certain artists that I felt like did stand out between the 90s and the 2000s. One word is Americas, which was first created by Tupac himself. Another one was Neo, a famous artist that I felt like definitely stood out in the 2000s. Monica, she was very young when she was created in the 90s, and I felt like she still stands out a little bit to this day, but definitely from the 2000s to the 2010s. I have Soul, which I feel like was the whole purpose of this magazine. Love, I feel like a lot of artists use love within their music, especially within their songs. And Gucci, because of Gucci Mane, I feel like Gucci Mane was also a big person within the rapping community when he first came out. For this page, I added a video. For the video I've added, it talks about why Black music matters, which talks about mostly about how it was created and where it came from and how I expanded. When you do click on this video or you take the time to watch the video, it kind of just goes in depth with how my first page was and just talking about where it came from and how it has grown since then. And with my last page, I just have credits for the YouTube video and the music. I actually created a playlist that has most of the songs up there, and then other songs that I added that I felt like definitely stood out between the 80s and the 2000s. Thank you.